I see a light inside of you, so let it shine. It's time to spread your wings and fly. Reach for the sky. Get up, don't let nothing hold you. Get up right now, right now. Get up, don't let nobody tell you that you can't. There is greatness inside of you. You're the one that the world is waiting for. Every step you take, we go again. 'Cause we believe in you. Say one day you go make a one day. Don't let nothing push you down. Stand with the ground. Yes, we believe in you. Yeah. Don't you give up on yourself till the world knows who you are. Keep on shining. Get up, don't let nothing hold you. Get up right now, right now. Get up, don't let nobody tell you that you can't. There is greatness inside of you. You're the one that the world is waiting for. Every step you take, we go again. 'Cause we believe in you. Say one day you go make a one day. One day you'll be like the sun. Say one day you go shine.
Access, more than banking.
I'm tired of trying. I need help. I want to try IVF. I know it's expensive.
Are you struggling with a health challenge? Do you need financial help to access treatment? If yes,
apply now for MHSS, the Maternal Health Service Support, a discounted loan by the W initiative of Access Bank with low interest rates, no loan fees, flexible repayment plan. This is your best bet for financing your health needs. For more information, visit our website on www.thewcommunity.com or any Access Bank branch nationwide. You can also send an email to wcares@accessbankplc.com. Terms and conditions apply. The MHSS has successfully financed hundreds of health procedures.
the next one could be yours.
Fauzia the latest Alaja. This year Haji went on. I hope you pray for a shot because this year you must make plenty money.
Inshallah, this year we'll all make plenty profit.
But your customers miss you, Sha. There's always someone checking on you.
I miss them too. At least it will justify all the charges I keep getting. It's too much walai.
Oh, Mama Fauzia, why do you keep stressing yourself? All you need is the right account for your business. We use the Access Bank's business account.
Tolu is right. I use Access Bank's DBA Classic account. And you see that multi-fixed charge? I love it. No hidden charges. I know how much I spend monthly on my business, which makes it easy to calculate my profit.
And I use the DBA Flex account. It is pay as you transact, and it is even discounted though.
So that means I can choose between Access Bank DBA Flex or DBA Classic depending on my type of business?
Exactly.
You people should be giving me these updates.
I'll give you Access Bank tomorrow.
Running a business could be tough, but banking shouldn't be. Banks matter with our Access Bank DBA Classic or DBA Flex account, depending on your business needs. For more information, visit any of our Access Bank branches or send an email to welovesmes@accessbankplc.com. Because at Access Bank, we love SMEs.
Ada, you've been looking at your phone for the last 10 minutes. What's wrong?
I need money to grow my business, but every loan I get seems to have crazy interest rates and difficult repayment plans. I feel stuck.
I'm so sorry. So you mean I've not told you about the W initiative of Access Bank?
Oh, Access Bank. I've heard of them. But what is W initiative?
The W initiative is the home of everything Access Bank has to offer women. They offer monthly webinars, workshops, trainings, and they have a thriving online community. They even offer discounted loans to business women just like yourself.
Is it not like the normal loan we get everywhere?
No, the loan has very friendly terms with discounted interest rates and flexible repayment plans. They give loans to grow your business, to own a home, and to even finance health challenges.
Jane, you must be joking. How do I reach the W community?
I'm serious. Just check them out on social media at the W Community, or you can even visit their website www.thewcommunity.com. They have several opportunities for you.
Oh, my friend, thank you so much.
Now, imagine the impact we can make together if more women had access to these opportunities. We invite you to tell one woman about the W community, who will tell another woman. Each one bring one.
A new year ushers in fresh opportunities to dream bigger, reach further, and make impact that truly matters. This year at the W community, we have a bold vision to position W as the #1 platform where women get inspired, connected, and empowered. To achieve this, we're launching a powerful campaign. Each one, bring one. It is a call to action and a step towards building a stronger, more inclusive network of women across Africa. We have seen real transformation of thousands of women who have taken advantage of the W valuable offerings. From the Women Premier Pitch-a-thon programs, W loans, to our monthly webinars, the impact is undeniable. We are also breaking barriers by empowering women in male-dominated industries such as driving and mechanics. W is committed to bridging the gaps in finance, education, and technical skills, ensuring that women are leaders in their fields. We cannot achieve this mission alone. We need you to organically grow the W community with us. You have experienced the value of W. Now it's time to pay it forward. Think about the women in your life, your colleagues, sisters, friends, and the women in your local community who need to be empowered. Tell them about W. We're not just talking. We're actively spreading the word about the W community through our roadshows, our newly launched website, and valuable opportunities we offer. Be a part of this movement. Each one bring one, because when one woman rises, we all rise.
Wonderful afternoon to you, and welcome to the W February webinar. This It's the first webinar in the year 2026. And so on behalf of the W Initiative, I'd like to say Happy New Year to you. Thank you so much for riding with us in the year 2025. Your engagement, your growth, your stories, and your resilience are the reasons why the W Initiative and the W community continues to thrive. And I assure you that 2026 is going to be even more impactful, more empowering, and more transformative for all of us. Thank you so much for joining us today and welcome to the session. My name is Ifeoluwa Omoto, and it is an absolute delight, as always, to be your moderator on the W webinar series. What I'd like you to do is to introduce yourselves in the comment section. Let's know who you are and where you're joining us from. Now, this webinar is proudly brought to you by the W Initiative and the SME Banking Group at Access Bank in partnership with Coronation Insurance, your everyday insurance body. And so we are very excited to have you joining us today. And also, I'd like you to get comfortable for the next 2 hours. And I promise you that it's going to be worth your while. Now, we celebrated Valentine's Day a few weeks ago, and it was very beautiful to see. There was love everywhere, thoughtful gifts, candlelit dinners, sweet messages, surprises, and all. But you know, beyond the flowers, beyond the chocolates, beyond the picture perfect moments, there's something important that we need to remind ourselves of. And that's that love is not just emotions. It is not just butterflies in your tummy. It's not just candlelit dinner or even Instagram moments and the likes. Love is intentional. Love is responsibility. Love is growth. Love is accountability. And so sometimes it even comes with losses, sometimes it comes with hard lessons, sometimes it stretches us even much more than we thought that we could take. And so that's why today's conversation is important. I can confidently tell you that we have an amazing lineup of speakers who are going to drive this conversation when the time comes. But then to go further on this session, I'd like to welcome the unit head of the women banking team at Access Bank. Please put your virtual claps in the comment section like we always do as we welcome Nene Kunle Ogunlusi. Good afternoon, Nene, and welcome to the session.
Thank you so much, Ife. Good evening, everyone, our distinguished speakers, our valued W community members. We're so happy you're joining us here today in this live session. This is the first webinar for the year, and we're happy, we're delighted that you are able to join us and you have consistently joined us in the past 5 years on all our heart-to-heart webinars. This is actually the 5th heart-to-heart webinar we're bringing to you, and consistently we've brought impactful, insightful conversations that we believe has been very helpful to you navigating life, navigating business. Like, our goal is to continue to inspire, connect, and empower every woman and every member of our community. And so let me encourage you and tell you to stay tuned with us, follow us on all our social media platforms, because we have a lot lined up for you this year, from webinars to our IWD celebration, which is coming up very soon, to our roundtable sessions, everything. And don't forget also our Womenpreneur, which will come up a later part of this year. But we have a lot of activities lined up for you this year, and we look forward to you joining us on all those activities. And we also look forward to you bringing your friends to join us, because as the community continues to grow, or as we continue to bring impactful activities to you, we also expect you to spread the news so our community will continue to grow. Now, like Ife said, this February is a month of love, and we've seen a lot of display of love. But we also know with love sometimes comes the unexpected, which is loss, and then from the loss we learn lessons. And that's why we have come with experienced speakers who are experienced in various fields and also life experience to bring us how to navigate the emotional parts when we feel love and when the unexpected happens. What do we do and how can we navigate and grow from the lessons that we've learned? It's going to be an insightful session here today. I encourage everyone, lean in, bring out your papers and your pens, take note, and when it's time to ask questions, ask questions. I believe strongly that at the end of this session, we will all be better than when we joined. Stay tuned to W Initiative, brought to you by Access Bank. And today, we're bringing you this webinar in partnership with our SME group because at Access Bank, we love SMEs, and also in partnership with Coronation. Thank you. Ife, over to you.
Thank you so much, Nene, for that very warm welcome. It's a pleasure to have you. That was the unit head of the women banking team of Access Bank. Now, as I earlier mentioned, and as Nene rightly mentioned, this webinar is proudly brought to you by the W Initiative and the SME Banking Group of Access Bank in partnership with Coronation Insurance. My next speaker is going to introduce the W Initiative as well as the offerings that our SME Banking Group has for you. Please welcome with me the team lead of the Women in Business segment at Access Bank, Olubusola Farawi. Hi, Busola.
Hi, Ife. Hello, Ife. Thank you very much for having me here today. And good evening, amazing W community members. The W Initiative is the home of everything. It's a proposition, and it's an initiative that was put together in 2006 and grew over the years, learning from the experiences that we had in our programs for women in business. And it has now fully established itself as our lifestyle needs to our female customers across all walks of life. So I will speak to that in subsequent slides. Now, the W Initiative is not just here to, provide the financial services that you need, but we're here to provide the bank of choice services that you need as a woman. And we're not just because Access Bank, we are represented across over 10 African countries. And our mission is to do three things: to inspire, to connect, and to empower you. Our focus segment really cuts across 6 major women focus groups. We call this key customer segments because we know that women are not all in one segment, or neither are we all fit into the same bucket. So we have the women in business, we have the young professionals, we have the W and family, we have the millennials and the Gen Zs, we have the W quintessential and the W change makers. And of course, as you know, the words have basically explained themselves, but the quintessential and the Gen Zs are particularly segments that we've identified that, provide a bit more intention, or we have, given more intention to, because we know that the Gen Zs are one of the, major segments and millennials doing things in the industry and even across the world. And of course, the quintessentials are women that are doing things to impact and to imbibe other women across all walks of life. And change makers, we call them the change makers because these are women at the very grassroots level trying to ensure that they can do something for their economy, for their ecosystem, and improve all that they have to have a better livelihood. Now, W is not just about segment. We cater to the needs of our female customers, leveraging, of course, the existing Access Bank products and our bespoke W offerings, some of which include the W Power Loan, the W Power Vehicle Loan, the W Switch to Solar Financing, the W Home Loan, and the W Health Loan. We also have a few flagship state government intervention programs that we've launched over the years to ensure that we can cover access to capital and access to finance for all the segments that we serve. We also have the access to networks where we create an enabling environment for women to engage, to interact with other women, gain insights, even cross-sell and expand their business outlook. We all have our access to capacity building. Knowledge is very, very critical for us at W, which is why we have even put together this webinar. We are doing everything possible to ensure that we are building the capacity of women as well as building their access to capital and finance. So we have our flagship program, which is the Womenpreneur Pitchathon, which is a program that we've built intentionally, leveraging a collaboration with the IFC of the World Bank. We also have business clinics. We have webinars such as this on a regular basis. We have the Ladies Let's Drive and a whole lot more that we have put together. And recently, we have what we call the Level Up program that we recently launched to ensure that we can do more in the grassroots locations. And of course, finally, access to market. If you give finance, you ensure that those businesses thrive, which is why we're very big on access to market. So we do things around trade fairs and leveraging our W community website. So if you're not on the W community website and you're a woman looking to grow your market, looking to grow your business, this is the time for you to become a member of the W community. Now, speak a bit more on our W loans, because I also saw in the course of preparing for this webinar that people were asking, how do I access a loan for my business? What do I do? This is the go-to for you. We have W Power Loan, like I said, which gives you access to up to 100 million naira for your business. Collateral flexibility. We also have repayment flexibility. And what do I mean by repayment flexibility? You can repay your loan over a period of 36 months, gives you that ability to spread your repayments and manage your cash flow effectively. You also have the option of discounted interest rates to help you reduce your costs as a business person. There are other terms and conditions that are applied to this particular financing, but one thing I need to pass across to the women businesses and the female-owned businesses on this webinar is ensure that your books are properly kept. Ensure you have the right financials to support your request for any financing that you're putting forward. The W Power Vehicle Loan is basically our financing that gives you access to finance to purchase vehicles, and the Home Loan is the product that gives you access to finance to purchase a property for your business and to also expand your business. And one of the special things that I would like to say on the Home Loan is that you have the opportunity to earn a discount rate. Currently, we're partnering with the federal government on the MRIF proposition, and this is the time for women to own that property, get that property that you require for yourself and for your business. Finally, our last financing for women loans is to business owners is the Switch to Solar, which is basically our green financing that gives women access to purchase products that revolves around clean and green energy. So if you want to get your inverters, you want to get your solar panels, this is a product for you. We are very big on sustainability. We are very big on renewable energy at Access Bank, and this is why we are doing this. Also, one other financing program that we have at Access Bank, W Initiative, is the W Health Loan. I'll say this is one product that is really emotional and dear to our hearts because we understand and we believe that a woman's health is very important for her to even live or to sustain herself, which is why the W Health Loan is a product that is discounted and gives women access to finance to overcome challenges around their health. So we have, over the years, this product has been focused on, fertility procedures and things around helping the family to complete, their cycle. But now we've expanded it in such a way that it's more holistic, giving women access to better financing for health procedures. So from things like bariatric procedures, things like dental procedures, things like optical procedures, even specialized procedures that have to do with the bones, orthopedic procedures. This financing is available to you. Up to 10 million naira is up for grasp. And you can also, up until recently, we launched the cancer support, where we are able to give loans to women to cover cancer treatments. Now, I know that we are unable to, put everything together in this particular presentation, but I want you to look out for the links in the chat and indicate your interest for any of our products. You also see an email where you can make your requests immediately to the W community, and we'll be able and of course eager to attend to your request for your loans. And it's a thing of excitement for us because we've been able to deliver over 106 babies through the health loan. Now, I feel that is enough evidence to show to you that this product is doing very well. And if you have any health procedure that you want to start and take on as a business owner or as a salary earner, please do well to reach out to us at the W community. And finally, we have what we call the W Academy, which has brought this to you. This is the arm of W that manages everything around capacity building and capacity development, like I mentioned earlier. We have a W debit card, which is a unique identity for every W community member. Every W community member needs to own this card as an Access Bank customer because it gives you access to a lot more than what the than the regular. So with the W card, you have access to a number of discounts when we are doing our health programs. Even when we're, with the International Women's Day coming up, I believe that it's time for you to go and get your W debit card because there's a lot in store for our W debit card holders. Finally, I'd like to introduce to you our SME banking proposition. Like Ife had said, this is a program that we have put together in conjunction with our SME banking team. And what we do at Access Bank for our SME banking customers is to help our MSME customers achieve 4 key things. Help you run your back, help you drive sales beyond proximity, understand your financials, and leverage technology to improve your business efficiencies. Now, we do this leveraging 4 key pillars. We do this through our business accounts, our access to finance, our beyond banking proposition, as well as our enhanced business productivity. So it's ensuring that, as you run your business is more productive and as well bringing out the right finance that you need. So from our business account, the DBA Flex and the likes, these are very cost-effective products that is designed to help you manage your costs as a business. We also have access to finance, which gives you access to different options of, funding for your business from the market, association lending scheme, which is targeted at women and businesses in the market locations to ensure that you can access funding. We also have our shop purchase funding, where you can purchase your own shop, own your own shop for your own purpose, as well as our asset finance. And up until recently, we launched the pre-approved lending scheme, which is our quick access to finance option for existing Access Bank customers, and our area of digital lending, from our cash flow lending to our quick bulk finance. There's a whole lot in store for you as an SME at Access Bank. That's all I will say to you. So do well to ensure that you're on board today as an SME customer at Access Bank, and you would not regret it. For beyond banking, we have our Access Business Clinics that we run on a monthly basis, ensuring that customers can get the right knowledge and productivity tools to grow their business. You have the Access Business Webinars, just like we are doing here. We have the SME Bulletin. We have the Radio Digest show that runs every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Do well to tune in to 97.3 to listen in to our SME Digest. And finally, we have the business registration services. I would say that if you are not on board Access Bank W Initiative or SME Banking, you are definitely missing out. So reach out to us at wcares@accessbankplc.com to make inquiries or to get started today on any of the offerings that you've heard from us today. And you can also stay connected with us at the W community. Like Nene said, we have a lot in store for you for the month of March, which is the Women's Month. So please do well to follow us at the W community on all social media platforms to stay abreast and to get notifications when we begin to roll out the juice and the goodies for you at the W community. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for your
Thank you so much, Busola. I think that we have all heard the beautiful things that Access Bank is doing for women and for SMEs, and I'm sure that you do not want to miss out. So make sure to follow us across our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and X at the W Community, and ensure to click the subscribe button below this video just so that you can be the first set of people to get our notifications when we bring up insightful sessions such as this and any other wonderful offerings for you. Thank you so much once again, Busola. It was a pleasure having you. Now, we're going right into the conversation, right? Many of us have a lot of things we are nurturing. It could be a relationship, it can be a business, it can be a dream, it can even be a vision, right? You plant the seed, you water the seed, you believe in yourself, you invest and you sacrifice for those things that you love. However, losses happen, right? It can be that a deal did not go through. It can be a partnership that failed. It can even be that your product is not working properly. It can even be a fire or a bugger. And that's why today's conversation is very powerful, because we are here to establish the fact that love is intentional responsibility towards the things that matter to you. Today, we are joined by an incredible woman. She is a trauma therapist and a certified family life coach. She's a counselor and an emotional intelligence strategist. She has a proven track record of helping people navigate emotional pain, improve communication, and build healthy relationships. She's a founder of Bloom Nest, which is a transformation-focused company that empowers people to grow emotionally, strengthen relationships, and lead more fulfilling lives. Now, you know how we always do by putting our virtual hands together in the comment section. Please welcome with me, Nike Folagbade. Hi, Nike. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing? Thank you so much for inviting me.
I am very well, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us here today. So I wanted us to, establish the emotional aspect of this conversation first before we move on to the other segment. Many women love deeply, right? It could be people, they love their dreams, they love their plans. Why does loss rather often hit women so hard emotionally?
Thank you for that question. And I have to say that this is a very important topic that you're treating for women, because we live in a society where from a very young age, in the area of socialization, a lot of women have been trained to nurture their emotional side. And so there's a lot of emotional processing over cognitive thinking. And so they just grow up, they understand how to cook, how to relate, how to take care of their husbands. And even when you're still 7, 8, 10, they start telling you, oh, you have to learn how to do this, you have to learn how to do that. Unlike the men who have been taught about how to move into independence, problem solving, and all that. And the good thing about that is that from a young age, men are taught how to handle real life problems. And so no matter how much they get into love and all of that, they still have their backups. They're thinking, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. But for women, when we love, we actually love very deeply. We like to internalize a lot. We like to, when a woman finds someone she loves, she has already thought about 10 years from now. She has thought about their wedding anniversaries. She has thought about how Christmas is going to look like. She has thought about everything. And so in that moment, she loses her guard and she's just projecting and just thinking that everything will go well. Women like to look at the potential part of relationships and marriages and how this thing can go. A lot of women also do what we call spiritual bypassing. Oh, God will do it for me. Oh, this thing will never happen to me. Oh, it's not my fault. It's not my It's not my, how do you put it now? When you're trying to say things, it's
Not
like,
my portion.
yeah, it's not my portion. This will never
Yeah.
happen to me. This will never go wrong to me. This will, we like to do this a lot, and we do not realize that this is not just the way to think. So based on this, I'll say to women that we must begin to move away from just being so emotional to understanding that love requires responsibility. We must begin to see that our lives are not anchored on just being loved, right? I know we like to give love and I know we like to receive love, but in this world, we have to prepare for the good, the bad, the worst, whatever. We have to always be prepared. So whether it's making sure that you ensure your finances, your business, maybe it's making sure that you're going through therapy and you have professional education when necessary. We must have that mindset that in this world, things will happen, not because we are bad people, but because it's life. And you have to be ready and be prepared to navigate these experiences. So I feel like women just go through those things because they are trained to always be emotional. And so they lock up the other side of their brain and then they just go through spiritual bypass. And they also think that everybody has a good heart like them. And all of those things just makes women to forget about the real life perspective in itself. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I think you're very spot on with the it's not my portion thing. We love to, oh, it cannot be me. It will happen to me by God's grace. It cannot be. And yes, I mean, I think what if we don't often ask ourselves the question, what if things go wrong? And I think a lot of women don't even want to. Because, right, and I think that is one of the underlying factors that makes laws affect women even much more because they don't want to think, what if things go wrong? What do I need to put in place so that things do not go wrong, right? Okay, so I'm moving on a little bit. I was spoken earlier about how love is much more than butterflies and just grand gestures, right? And I want you to explain to us what mature love look like beyond just emotions and affection. I mean, we understand that love has to do with emotions in some sort of way, but what does mature love look like beyond just emotions and affection?
All right, beautiful one. Well, I've been through loss before, and I would say that it changed me. First in a negative way, but then later on in a good way. And over time, when I think back, and I can say that there are a lot of childishness that we bring into relationships because loving is actually requiring work. We know we like to take our businesses very seriously. We have certifications, we go for education, we do all of that. But when it comes to love, we just leave it alone. But you see, loving in itself requires a lot of skills, a lot of preparation. And then I'll just list out some of the things that we must start to look at when it comes to maturity in love. Number one is that love requires boundaries. A lot of women are not taught boundaries. And so we think that everybody should just access us. There are a lot of things we have. We have our body, our soul, our money, so many things. And then we just let it loose and give people access and say that it's because they promised us a lot of things. Because we like to listen to the good promises. And when we listen to these good promises, we'll open up ourselves and just let things happen. The second thing is that love is accountable. You have to be accountable for yourself and also get the other person to be accountable. It's why women get married and they're not able to get their husbands to be accountable because over time during the dating and courtship seasons, you did not understand where accountability came from. So you allow things to just happen. And then suddenly you're trying to get this guy to be accountable and he's looking at you like, excuse me, I'm the head of this home. You cannot get me to be accountable. So mature love is also accountability. The third thing is that mature love in itself is also future conscious. It's not you losing yourself and living every day in this Cinderella story. It is you saying to yourself, what would happen if this happens? What if I experience loss? So if you tell a woman, so what will happen now if your husband is gone and this happened? They're like, God forbid, it will never happen. Okay, leave God forbid first. Let's focus on what if this happens. Are you prepared? Do you have financial backup? Do you have relationships, associations, all that? So you must be able to put some futuristic preparation in how you're loving. Love also requires responsibility. It is not you just eating shawarma and just enjoying yourself and you're not thinking, well, you must show responsibility for yourself and also for the people that you love. You must be able to tell yourself that, see, loving someone does not mean that they now have to take care of you and so you don't have to do anything about yourself. You must be a person who is able to build a great business, be a visionary person, be purposeful in your living while still in love with someone, because these are just the important thing about you. When you're in love and you lose this aspect of yourself, a man can see it. He can see the energy that you're giving, and before you know it, anything can happen. Love in itself is also consistent. So it means that today you are emotionally down, tomorrow you are up, and so you're always nagging, you're always doing this. No, you have to learn emotional regulation. You have to learn how to show up in your relationships properly. You have to learn to communicate properly. Mature love is also emotional regulation. You will not always like what you're saying, but you must learn to identify what you're feeling per time. I always teach women, learn to understand your emotions. Learn to understand the discomfort in your feelings sometimes. So if you're in a relationship with someone, or you're building a business, or you're in a new friendship with someone, or you just started a contract and you start to feel this unease in your heart, you must know what's happening here. Is it misalignment? Is it timing? Is it lack of preparation? You must understand it so that you're able to work on it. You must also have people that you get counsel from, either from professionals or mentors, just so that you don't make mistakes. The moment you start to see patterns that are questionable, don't keep quiet about it. Ask the people who understand better what happens when you notice this. What happens when you notice this? It shows to you that something's happening here. Now let me give you a practical example. Imagine that you're married and your husband wants to buy the first property, and then he says to you, this property is just his name that's going to be on it. That is Mr. and no, Mr. Yemi Adewale. So what happens to the woman? And it's like, no, 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 no. Anything that I have is also for you. And so the woman is like, okay now, no problem. No, hold on. I'm sure you understand the society that we live in. If anything happens to that man, as long as your name or there is no protection in any capacity, the family have the right to want to take something, except you work with a very good lawyer who understands the law, who can help you to fight about that thing. And so for a lot of women, I think we just take these things and joke with it. If a man says that to you, you should also ask him a question like, okay, so are you saying that when you buy property, it has your name? So if I also buy property now, it's just my name, Abby. Is that what you're saying? Or is both of us name? If it says to when you buy the property also, you give it to me in your name, you know that there's a red flag here. There are patterns here that you should not joke about. So I just feel like we must get responsible about the things that we're saying, the things that we're feeling, and how we're showing up in our relationships. That's what it means to be more mature in how you show up. Yeah.
Very well said. Thank you so much. You said mature love is boundaries, accountability, future conscious, being responsible, and emotional regulations as well. I think those are nuggets to hold on to. Thank you so much, Nike. And I'm happy that you even mentioned boundaries, because oftentimes it feels like boundaries and preparations feel like pessimism, right? Feels like, but why does that happen? Even though you understand that it's a way to, care about what you love, but why does it happen? That is it a psychological thing that we feel like, oh, if you set boundaries, if you prepare too much for something, it will happen?
Now, there's a difference between being just pessimistic, just attaching negative thinking to life generally, and there's a difference with just being prepared and also setting boundaries. You see, every time you are afraid of setting boundaries, it's a sign of a deeper fear within you. And when it comes to boundaries, we have to be mindful of what we call boundaries. It's not just trying to be vengeful, wicked, controlling, being insecure. That's not what we're speaking about. Examples of boundaries is, if you're married or relationship or whatever, you have your business and your spouse says to you, bring all your money. I'll be the one to take care of it. I'll just give you your savings. You must be able to fight for your voice in that marriage, because it's risky. Doesn't matter how much this person is proving love to you today. It's risky as a woman not to be able to speak up at that point to say, you know what, we both have our businesses, right? And we're doing stuff. So we're going to have our financial templates in the home that we're using to run the house, but we must also keep to our individuality. And I have my account with Access Bank. You have your account with whoever. Let's have it. Let's have another account where we put in funds and we run the home and we do all of that.
Okay.
That's important. Or say you run a business and your husband is always saying, so this is your business. So what's happening? Oh yeah, oh yeah, borrow me this money. Oh, I need this loan from your business. Oh, this one, that one. And you give him this loan the first time, he did not pay back. He used sex and everything to cover up. And then the second time he tells you again, yeah, now, I'm doing these things for her. It's this business I want to do. As a woman, you need to start looking at the fact that this does not look like a very good pattern. You see, actions, words can be deceptive. Patterns never lie. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So if someone does something to you the first time, you can give an excuse for them. If they do it the second time, it's showing to you that there is a pattern here and you must pay attention to it. Do not fall for just emotional words and someone is trying to blackmail you and someone is trying to, no, don't do that. So those are examples of boundaries you can set maybe in a marriage setting and all of that. Now let me talk about how we perceive these things. You see, for someone to be able to set boundaries, they have to be a very clear, elevated identity, regulated kind of person. It's not everybody that can set boundaries. A person who has so much of trauma in their life, they will not understand boundaries because boundaries can expose you. Boundaries can show where you stand. If you ask me, would you like to do XYZ? And I know I don't like that thing. I say no without explaining. It can make you see me as a bad person.
Yeah.
Am I willing to be a bad person to you? Must I give you explanation for every single thing that I'm not interested in? Whatever it is that you're doing, maybe it doesn't align to my values. So the moment you feel like you always have to explain yourself, you always have to be nice to people, you always have to get the validation of people, you cannot set boundaries. So not everybody can set boundaries. And that's the reason why people would rather not set boundaries. Why? Because they want to be friends with everybody. They want everybody to like them. They want everybody to not have issues with them. You can't tolerate people talking about you. Let people talk about you. A sign of growth is that you heard that someone said this about you. It doesn't tally with who you are, and you're unshaken because you know that's not who you are. So boundaries can expose you to the world. It can make people reframe it as this person is proud. This person is this. And so not every woman is prepared to do that. You must have gone through a lot of healing journey for you to get to that point and you're able to say, okay, this is who I actually want to be. You see, boundaries requires alignment to your values. Do we even know our values as women? Every woman should know our top 5 core values. Values are the principles that you use in living your life. It determines where you go to, who you're friends with, what you do, the kind of life that you live. When people meet you in 15 minutes, they should be able to understand some of the values that you have just by the way that you speak, just by the way you interact. And so if a person does not know their values, then they don't know how to make decisions and the things that they need to do. So that's on boundaries. Now, in terms of preparation only happens to those who have sometimes let me put it this way. If you have experienced something bad in the past, you've gone through loss in the past, nobody has to tell you before you prepare next time. Those who don't prepare are mostly those who are still naive in the world. They still see life as, let's just keep enjoying ourselves. But you see, preparation is just a sign that you take your life seriously. It's just a sign that you take your business seriously. When they tell us to come for insurance, for example, or to expand our business, and you say, no, I just want it like this, it's because you have never thought about reaching a particular level. So you rather just remain in your comfort zone. So you see that it's not that it's pessimistic, it's that it brings you to a place where you have to let go of the regular way of living that is just in the way that every other person in the average level is thinking. It requires growth for you to be able to set boundaries. It requires, regulation. It requires that you hold yourself accountable to what you say you want to do. So do you see that this is not something that can happen with everybody? It only happens with a kind of woman, a high value woman who is thinking futuristic. So that's the thing
Great.
about it.
Great, thank you so much. That's very, very well said. And just to mention that we have some men on the call as well. I think
Okay.
it happens the other way around as well. It's not just for
Yeah.
women, right? Yes, thank you so much. And I wanted us to speak to how we can balance, I have faith, I have hope, and I'm emotionally open with being practical, right? Being logical about things.
Okay. Okay. So sorry to the man. I'm sorry I did not give examples for you. Though
Yeah,
I'll be
it's
more
fine.
mindful of you now. All right. So first of all, I feel like we live in a very spiritual environment, and so I'm not saying that we don't have faith and all of that, right? But you see, the thing is, faith does not cancel wisdom.
Yeah.
And hope in itself does not also cancel discernment. We must learn, you see, over time, we have been trained in the faith-based space. Because I mean, I'm also a Christian, I'm a very deep spiritual person. Over time, we have been trained to always just leave it to God to do it all. We have this wishful thinking, hopeful thinking. And so when people ask you certain intentional questions, we get things like, don't worry, don't worry. When the time is right, God will do it. God knows, God is in charge of my life. It will make this happen. That's how we used to think. So there were times when I'll keep praying for expansion. I'll keep praying for, whatever it is, and I'll be praying it, declaring it. But there was no evidence of growth in my life.
Sure.
I needed to confront my habits, my mindsets,
Yeah.
my current comfort zone. What's stopping me here? I needed to elevate my relationships. I needed to increase certain things. I needed to invest more money in certain systems, structures, and tools. And that's when I realized that, okay, okay, even if God answers the prayer of expansion, am I ready?
Yeah.
Do I have what it takes? Do you see? So what I would say is, while you're praying, still ask questions. While you're praying, still watch out for the patterns. While you're praying, sit down and I want to really recommend this. Everybody should learn to sit by themselves. See, I always have my journals. And if I go through my journals, I will notice the patterns in my life. I will tell myself for the past 1 week, I've been feeling a certain way. I'm not able to navigate into certain things. So I was asking someone yesterday, she said, oh, I'm not able to do these things that I want to do, and I really want to do it. So I asked her one question. Every time you want to do this very thing, what emotions do you feel? She feels worthlessness, she feels shame, she feels this. I said, that's the problem. And then we went to the root cause. I want to say to us, I understand faith. Don't worry. I understand it. I'm saying, can you sit down and journal? Journal your thoughts, journal your patterns, journal the things that you're thinking, and say to yourself, where in this place are the gaps that my life is stuck on? If you say, oh, I want to be able to lose some weight, build my business better and be productive, read books. And then someone asks you, so why are you not doing it? I don't have time. Say, I don't have time, or I don't have time. But you're in all the programs that they do in your church, right? So ask yourself, what time do you wake up? When you wake up, what do you do? Do you have morning habits? Do you have morning and evening routines? Do you have block of time where you drop your phone and all you want to do is just sit by yourself? So you can read a book, so you can journal, so you can pay attention to your emotions. Do you have time for that? Can you even stay still for 5 minutes? So that you can take note of I call it mental dumping, being able to take note of all the tasks that are opened in your mind and put it down. If you check the patterns of your life, you will see that there is space for more. If you learn the power of delegation, outsourcing, letting other people help you to do stuff, you will see that there's time for more. If you learn how to read and invest in what is necessary for you to grow, you will see that it is not a lack of resources that is helping you. It's a lack of knowledge. So you can put faith here, and you can also put emotions here, and you can work together in a smarter way. That's why this kind of webinar is important. And that's why after this webinar, you should send a message to Access Bank to say, what does it take to get my business to this level? What does it take to do X, Y, Z? What would it take? And then don't just say, this one is not for me. Me, I cannot do this one. My pastor did not. No, go back and say to yourself, what systems do I need to build? What kind of person do I need to become? Even as a man who you don't understand how to manage black tax, for example. Let's talk to the men now. As a man, you could be losing so much because you don't know how to say no. Because you are not being wise in how you approach black tax. Every time they ask you for 1 million naira, it's making you lose profits. But you don't know how to say no because you are the firstborn. Because everybody contributed money for you to go to school. So you keep saying yes, yes, yes. But you must know that there's a place for wisdom. Then they will now do emotional blackmailing and spiritual accusation. Then you will now give all the money. No, ask yourself, if they tell you, give me 1 million naira, hey, this period there, I'm doing something, so I'm able to give you 400,000 naira. That's what I can give to you. That's you responding with wisdom. Not you always giving them everything, and before you know it, you become the one that carries the burden of everybody, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in square zero. That's the problem we're seeing. So those are just some of the examples around that.
Great. Thank you so much. This is a very, very valid point that you have made. Please make sure to drop your questions in the Q&A box so that we can address them at the end of the session. Now, the conversation is getting more interesting, and you had said earlier that when you have not experienced loss, you may not even see the need to prepare. Today, we are joined by a passionate entrepreneur who has vast experience in the business of fast-moving consumer goods. And, she brings valuable real-life lessons on resilience and the importance of preparedness in business. So please welcome with me. Her name is Aminat Abessing. Hi, Aminat. Hi, Aminat. Are you on the call?
Yes, but she's not. Her mic is still muted.
You're not muted. You are not unmuted, rather. Good
Thank you.
afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ife.
Thank you so much for
Good
joining
afternoon,
us.
everyone.
Good afternoon. Now, we've been talking a lot about emotions and the likes, and Anike has done very valid justice to that topic. We're moving a little bit further. We're moving a notch higher to talk about being prepared. I mean, she had made a very valid point that sometimes if you have not experienced loss, it may not occur to you to prepare ahead of time. And for you, the story is a little bit different. So I'd like you to just in a little time, tell us what you do actually and how long you've been doing this.
Okay, thank you so much for having me here today. I'm Abeshi Aminat. I'm into selling of the business of fast-moving consumer goods. I sell the likes of oil, noodles, pasta. I buy from the factory, sell to consumers, wholesalers, retailers. So basically that.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Now, Aminat is on the webinar today because she is a typical example of someone who was prepared and then experienced loss. So I wanted you to speak to the incident. How did you think about risk and protecting your business? Was it something that was, top of mind to you, even though you had not experienced loss before? But why did you see the need to protect your business against the risk?
Okay, the point where you said I've not experienced loss before, I'm going to have to correct you there because well, a lot of people don't know this about me, but the very close ones know that I lost my husband sometimes 2020. So to a large extent, I understand what loss is.
Yes.
So when it came to this, I felt I'm not even going to lie. Initially, I used to think, why insure my business? Like things like this can never happen to me. My stock can never get boggled. My stock can never get burnt. The usual Nigerian mentality. So,
yes.
so that very day I got to this. I was at home because I usually take some time before opening. So that day I just got a call from my sister. She said she had been okay. I told her to get something for me, not too far from the store. Then she called and said, She called and said the doors were open. Have I been to the store that morning to make any supply? And I was like, how is that possible? You left me in the house like few minutes ago. I've not been to the store. How is that? So at first, I didn't take her seriously because I felt she was lying. I felt she was pranking me. But then again, she went on and said, that everywhere was scattered, some products were missing. And it dawned on me that she might actually be saying the truth. So I just picked up the car key that day, drove straight down to the store. In fact, it was the longest drive I ever had from the house to the store. And on getting there, I saw that it truly had been bubbled. Products were stolen. I suffered a financial loss, and emotionally, I was devastated. Like, as this really happened to me, as this actually happened to me. But then again, in all of that, I did not panic. Like I said before, I've experienced loss. So to a large extent, I know how to handle situations like that. So I didn't panic. What I did was, first, I went to the police station nearest to me. I reported the incident. They asked for the details. I gave them all the information they needed. Then I reached out to my account officer. So she gave me some forms to fill. She gave me some documents because I told her what had happened and for her to provide guidance on how to go about the insurance claims because, of course, the business was insured. So that was what gave me rest of mind to a large extent because I know that I'll be getting what I've lost back. So she sent some forms, like I said, I filled those forms, sent back to her. Then at that very moment, something very important dawned on me that because in this running a business generally without insurance is like driving a car without brakes. And I came to that realization myself when my store was bubble. Because like I said earlier, I used to be of that notion that it can never happen to me, it can never be me. So this has taught me to, okay, like you said initially, that we should show love and it shouldn't just about showing love to people around us. We should also extend it to our businesses. It's not just the people around us. And one of the very important ways you can do this from somebody that has experienced it, I'll say, is by ensuring, because I've experienced it firsthand. So I know what I'm saying. And this is one of the smartest and most responsible decisions you can make as an entrepreneur. Because it's a powerful way to protect your hard work, to protect your investment, to protect your future. So now, when the insurance claims were on, so all of that, we had some back and forth, but eventually, Coronation Insurance paid all the claims as stated on their policy because Access Bank, I have an account with Access Bank. So they were the one that introduced the Coronation Insurance to me. Yes. So, and when it happened, some of the people around me were like, does insurance really work? Do they pay? And I was having the doubts initially because I felt, am I going to lose all of this? Am I going to lose all of this? Because it was millions, good products worth millions.
Millions of naira.
But eventually they paid. And that was a big financial relief for me. And even made my recovery super fast and easy. So now imagine if the business was not insured, what the financial impact would have been. One is the cost of the products that we stole. And the other thing is days, weeks, or even months loss of business, And some people, you even lost their confidence. You lose some of your customers' confidence because they come day one, they don't get what they want. They come another day, they'll just stop coming. So you lose their confidence. Emotionally, you are drained. Emotionally, you are stressed. And trust me, no business owner wants to go through all of these things. So I would implore us as business owners, I don't want us to be part of those ones that ignores insurance. Because in my experience, a lot of people think, like I said, it can never happen to me. I can't be that unlucky. It happens. You just have to be prepared. And some people also think insurance is expensive. To me, insurance isn't. Because compared to the benefit you'll be getting from it, it isn't expensive. Some people also think insurance is not necessary, or I'm going to insure my business when it grows. I have a small business, it's not so big, and I understand that risk does not wait for growth. And small businesses like mine are more vulnerable. So you work so hard to build to build your business. So protect it in whatever ways you can. And in this case, it's by, as far as I'm concerned, it's by ensuring it. You've already invested your money, you've invested your time, you've invested your sweat, you've invested everything. So how do you protect all those things that you've invested so much into the business?
Right.
So beyond money, I would say this. I don't know, because I really want a lot of people to learn. I hope that this helps someone protect their business before it is too late, honestly.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I think you've covered everything I was going to ask you. And thank you very much. I think that was very spot on, the things that you had said about preparedness. I'm sure that when they were introducing insurance, you probably felt, why not? Okay, let's just do it. But you never imagined that that could be exactly. So that you never imagined that someday you wake up to your shop or your store being bubbled, right? And that is the importance of this session, because you never can tell what can happen. Thank you so much, Amina. Like I said, please make sure to drop your questions in the Q&A box so that we can address them afterwards. Now, we've talked about emotions, right? We've talked about preparedness. And one thing is clear and has been established, that love without preparation can leave you very, very vulnerable, right? Because whether in your relationships or in your business or anything, hope is good, right? It's good to be hopeful, but preparation is powerful, right? And responsibility is not just about how you feel at a particular time, it is how you protect what matters to you. You need to think about the risks that are involved, and you need to look for ways to cut that risk so that if at all the risk crystallizes, you are not in a situation that is not good for you. For Amina, because she had prepared, it didn't leave her in a situation that could have, it could have turned the other way around. It could have led to the complete closure of our business, because, right, it may not be very easy to come back up, right? But then you need to think about risk and uncertainty and unexpected things, because these things happen either ways. Yes, they will happen to you. Yes, you will pray they don't happen to you, but there is a possibility of happening. And what do you do when it does? Now, to help us unpack what practical preparation and protection looks like, we have joining us today the Executive Director, Technical and Operations at Coronation Life Assurance Limited. Now, this person brings over 17 years experience across life insurance operations and actuarial services, enterprise risk management, and regulatory engagement. And prior to joining Coronation, she has had many senior leadership roles and led major digital transformative initiatives. She plays a very active role in shaping the Nigerian insurance industry today. And she's going to guide us on how preparation and protection are essential components of responsible living. Please welcome with me Muibat Jimo. Good afternoon, ma'am. And thank you so much for joining us.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me here today. I was very, moved, listening to Nike and Amina. So Nike, spoke about spiritual bypassing, right? And a lot of us, believe that nothing will happen to us. And when it happens, we'll deal with it. But unfortunately, in life and in business, disruptions and risks don't give advance notice. COVID-19, showed us, a sharp, experience of what that looks like. Thousands of SMEs, particularly women-led businesses, in retail and trade, closed not because they don't have the demand, but because there was no structure in place for continuity during the shutdown. A similar lesson also emerged, as a result of the NSAS protest. Traders, small businesses, lost premises, inventory, and years of accumulated value just overnight, because they don't have, structure in place to ensure that they are able to fall back, to when, these losses occur. But we have businesses like that of Amina, who have, enough structure and insurance protection in place, and, she was able to rebound. But for those that do not have that structure in place, their savings have been depleted. They don't have any support to fall back on. And they don't, at that moment in time, they can't even go to the banks to borrow money, to run their business. So that's a serious risk. When we create businesses, we are creating businesses because we love this business. And love alone cannot shield our assets. So we need to protect our assets. We love our homes. When we are going out, we close our doors, we install security and so on. When we have businesses, we have to protect the business. We have to have an insurance in place to ensure that if anything happens, we are covered. So it's not, in most cases, it is after these losses that business owners begin having conversation around insurance and protection. And by that time, it is too late. For those that have protection in place, you can see that, they are able to move ahead with their businesses. But for those that do not have any cover in place, they struggled. They don't have any pathway to continuity. So avoidance really, for me, is not a matter of ignorance. It is rooted in emotional discomfort, because protection itself requires confronting potential losses in advance. A conversation that many people defer to when, it is unavoidable. So when we love something, we create business. Loss itself shows us, what is exposed. And the lesson is what is not protected remains vulnerable. And when we are building businesses, we are building a legacy. We don't want to have our legacy vulnerable to risks. When we are, trying to expand our business, we are praying that, or we are hoping that the business would, outlive us. But hope alone cannot do this. We need to put structure in place to ensure that if anything goes wrong, there is protection in place, there is insurance to cover the life, that we are building our life. In case anything happens to us, we know our children are well catered to. We have our cars. If you buy a car of, say, 40 million up to 100 million, and you put it on the road without protection, that's risk on its own. If anything happens, where do you fall back onto? If you have a property without, insurance in place, if fire occurs, where do you go to? Whatever we are doing, we need to, have it in mind that, we are building a legacy. We don't want to leave burden, for our family to fall back on when we are not there. So for me, the lesson is very clear. What is not protected remains vulnerable, and we don't want to, sweat without having something to lay back on if disruption occurs or happens to us.
Wonderfully said. Thank you so much, ma'am. I think you have captured everything in what you said, that what is not protected remains very much vulnerable. Now, I wanted you to speak to what differentiates businesses that will recover quickly from disruptions from businesses that do not. In your experience, what have you seen?
So in my experience, irrespective of size or structure, businesses that recover quickly have three things in common, right? They have risk transfer mechanism, which is having adequate insurance in place, because insurance itself, converts risk, and uncertainty into a managed exposure. So I'm going back to COVID-19 era and also the NSAS period era. In the aftermath of NSAS, the insurance industry settled over 700 claims relating to vandalism, close to 1,000 claims relating to fire. And by mid-2021, over 9 billion of claim settlement has been made by insurance companies. So you can imagine businesses that receive this settlement having no insurance in place. Where would they have, be able to recover that loss that they endured during the NSAS protest? So for those that have this coverage, they had structured the pathway to recovery, and for those without insurance, they absorb this, personally. by which wiped, years of savings. And for those without family support, and also there's nothing to fall back on. And for us women, we always believe that our businesses are maybe plan B. If anything goes wrong, I can go back to my husband or go back to my relative to, loan me money, or to, save up money for me, contribute money so that I can go back. That is not going to work. That is, pessimism that is not going to achieve anything, because we are building our business to ensure that there is continuity, there is sustainability. So that I would not advise us, to rely, on family support for the businesses that we are running. So second option is the liquidity buffer. Whatever we are doing, we are running businesses, we are, earning income, we are expected to also have savings, so that if anything goes bad, we can rely on something, because cash flow, they say, is the oxygen during, it's an oxygen during disruption, because you are able to, have contingency reserve that will enable you to run your business in the midst of disruption. The third aspect is having continuity plan in place. What happens if you're not around? Who runs what? How will salaries of your employee be paid? How will your customers be served? So structured planning preserve, stability during pressures. So for those who do not have this structure in place, you see that there's no pathway for their businesses to outlive that. So for us women, don't see your businesses or our businesses as a plan B. See it as something that you're building because you love what you're doing, you love your children, you want to leave a legacy behind. You love your employees, you want to ensure that their income is maintained or sustained.
Yes.
You love your community because you also want to contribute, to the growth of your community. So those are very, very important. And they usually say that the strength of your recovery is determined even before the loss. Because if you don't put structure in place before the loss occurs and you have nothing to fall back on.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I think you're giving us so many nuggets that we need to, put in place. And I'm sure that a whole lot of us are learning things. So make sure that you're absorbing everything that is being said here. Remember that if you have questions, you're able to drop your questions in the comment section. Now, so we've been talking a lot, right? And Nike and Aminat have said the same thing. And you also have mentioned that people sometimes see preparedness as some form of negativity. Now we're trying to take our minds away from that. How do we reframe insurance as an act of love and responsibility and not negativity? How do we change the narrative?
Yes, insurance is often misunderstood. It's seen as something that we purchase, because we are expecting the worst, or because we are forced to buy it, just like the third-party motor insurance. But that framing is really not correct. If you value something, you protect it. Like I said, you value your own, you ensure that your doors are locked, you install security, you maintain your cars, your asset and all. So insurance operates on the same principle. So it's not fear-driven, and it's also, it's stewardship, driven. Love without protection is a mere sentiment. You can always say you love you love your children. If you love your children and you are not giving them the required education they need, that is not love. So insurance is the same thing. If you love your home, you protect it. If you love your business, you protect it. So insurance is not fear, it's care. It's an organized, expression of love and responsibility towards, for what we are building, what we own, and for those that depend on us. So insurance is honoring what matters the most. It transforms loss into emotion by providing stability, resilience, and ability to recover when loss occurs. So for me, insurance is not fear. It is a responsibility towards what we claim to love. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. That's wonderfully said. Now, like I said, please drop your questions in the comment section so that we can take them afterwards. Now, I know that there are lots of questions in people's minds now. So I wanted you to speak to SMEs. what foundational protective structures should be in place, regardless of the size? Because I know you had mentioned something earlier about sizing doesn't matter. So regardless of the business size, what foundational protective measures or structures should be put in place?
Okay, so for SMEs, we are in Nigeria and in most other African countries. We know that there's foundational compulsory insurance policies that any SME must have in place. For instance, if you have your vehicles, your cars, you know that there is a compulsory third-party insurance which is obtainable in Nigeria and some other African countries. You know that group life policy is a compulsory policy. If you have employees, 3 or more employees in your organization, having a group life policy in place is compulsory. So as a business owner, there are also some third-party liability insurance that you need to put in place. So that is one. Then for you also need to insure your inventories, your shops, your business premises against fire, theft, and vandalism in case of any rivals or disruption. And also business interruption is also very, very important that you have something like that in place. So those are the foundational insurance policies, that you need to put in place. And this is very simple. For you to determine what insurance you need to put in place at any point in time, you need to ask yourself some questions. If this gets, damaged, what will happen to me? What if anything bad happens or any disruption happens in the business that I run? What will continue and what will get, collapsed? So the answer you get will enable you decide which insurance are you expected to put in place. You are able to prioritize which one come first, which one come last. So having insurance in place is not something complex, it's simple. So it's about deciding, what comes first. Compulsory insurance comes first. After that, what impacts your business, negatively if it happens, comes next, such as fire, theft, and so on.
Right. Okay. Great. Well said. I also wanted you to speak to individuals because I know we've been talking about business and I think a few people can think they're talking about businesses, but this affects individuals as well. Can you just speak very briefly to individuals too?
So for individuals also, it's also life insurance is very important. Wherever you are, whoever you are, whether you're married, whether you're single, whether you are intending to get married in the next few years. So it's very important that you have life insurance in place. And health insurance also, because anything can happen to anybody. So health insurance is also very critical, and having an income protection is also very important in case anything happen, so that your years of hard work will not get reversed. Property insurance as an individual, you know that motor insurance is also important. And we are talking about insurance. We also have what we call the investment linked product. Is also very important if you want to save funds toward maybe you're going to school, you want to save money towards that school fees, or you want to get married in the next 5 years, you want to save money to this. There's what we call the investment contract policies, where they are life embedded. You're saving up, towards an event. So you can also look at that, So there are lots of insurance policies that are available for individuals. So for individuals, if you have a house, or if you are living in a rented apartment, you can also insure the content of your apartment. So there are lots that can be done. And like I said earlier, insurance is not complex, it's simple. So what you need to do is just to speak to somebody to explain, what insurance that you need to put in place to ensure that you're covered. If you have children, that in the case of an event of you not being around, you need to safeguard the financial consequence of that by saving up money or having a life insurance in place, so that if anything happens, the lifestyle of your relative, your family, or your loved one are maintained.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. My last question to you is, how do I start the insurance process? So if for example, I'm determined to, get onboarded on insurance, how do I start? What do I do?
Okay, so it's simple. You can call on, you can walk up to any Access Bank branches. So for us in Coronation, we have sales team stationed in any Access Bank branches. You can also walk up to us in our head office here. You can contact us on our on our contact details on our website. So we'll speak to you. So it's it's simple to buy insurance. So once you get to any Access Bank, tell the sales team what type of insurance you want, or explain the property that you want to protect, and we'll give you the list of the insurance that is well suited for your protection needs.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I think you've done very good justice to the questions we've given onto you today. Please stay tuned with us. I'm coming back to you, Aminat. I don't know if you're still on the call with us.
Still here.
Yes, so I wanted you to speak to what you think about your journey. I mean, when you think about the things you went through, what does loving your business truly mean to you right now?
Like I said earlier, because a lot of people starting business, they want you to grow, they invest their time, they invest their money, they invest every other thing, but forgetting one key thing, which I think is one of the very important things that you need to do, to actually complete the love package that you are giving to your business. So I would say that because it is inevitable that people do all those things that I mentioned, but then they forget the last thing, and that is the insurance that I talked about earlier. Because I mean, like I said earlier, running a business without insurance is like driving a car without brakes. And anything can happen at any time. Don't say it can never happen to you. And you have to be prepared for those risks, because we are open to risk every day. We are open to risk every time we go out, we come in, even over ourselves, over our properties, over our businesses. So how are you prepared? How do you protect those things that you love so much, that you've worked so hard on? I'll say it's right.
Great, thank you so much. Thank you. So loving your business means to protect that thing that matters to you, that thing you have spent years building, you have invested your energy, you sacrificed a lot of things for, make sure to protect it. Thank you so much, Amina. It's been a very wonderful time with you today. And Nike, I'm back to you, and this is my last question to you before we go to the questions from the participant. What is one mindset shift that women need to move from loving emotionally to, loving responsibly? Because we've established that love is responsibility now. So what is that mindset shift, that you think that women need to, women and everybody on the call today anyways, they need to, incorporate into their daily lives to move from loving just emotionally to, loving in a more responsible manner?
All right. Thank you to everyone who have spoken. Beautiful point right there. I would say that it would be to begin the journey of reframing how we think about things. Sometimes as women, we must say to ourselves, oh, instead of just thinking, this is my business, so I just want to keep my business, you need to start asking yourself, how do I build this business better? How do I grow this business? That means you're moving from just being in love with the business to actually showing love to the business. Two different things, right? And even if it comes to a relationship, you're also telling yourself, I hope it works. Move away from I hope it works to what does it require to make this work? You see, so you're shifting your mind from just falling in love with those things to actually saying, what can I do that will make this work well? Instead of saying, for someone like me, I like to feel very deeply. When I'm in love, I'm in love. Ask yourself, how can I be wiser while still loving deeply? So move away from, with this thing work, God will make you work too. What structures and systems, insurance or knowledge do I need to get to make this work? That's how you show that you love yourself, love your business, love your mind. It is what you put into it that shows how much you love it.
Great. Very, very well said. Thank you so much. So you need to start thinking structures, start thinking things that need to be in place for you to, I mean, this has been a very wonderful time. Thank you so much. And I think most of the questions we have here today are actually directed to Ms. Muibat. So I'll just ask a few of them because we don't have a lot of time left. The first thing is this person is asking, I sell bags and shoes online. Now, this is an online person, and she's asking, is it advisable to get insurance? I mean, she sells bags and shoes online. She has registered her business. According to her, it hasn't grown so much, but she's asking, is it advisable to get insurance?
Definitely. It is advisable that you have an insurance in place, because what you're selling, even if they're bags, you are storing them somewhere. So in the unfortunate event of the fire, all your goods will be lost, overnight. So, and your years of accumulated revenue and capital will be gone. So if you don't have an insurance in place, that's the very risky, decision to make. And, Nike has said, if you love something, you show love to what you're building. So if you are building a business, even though it's a very small business, if you are not protecting that business, that's just sentiment. That's not real love. So real love is showing responsibility, and care for what you're running, so that you're planning for a sustainable business, so that your business will uplift you, and you're also able to grow. You are working to earn income to protect your future, not just the present. Yes. So insurance is very important that you have something in place. And also for yourself, you are expected to also have life insurance, right? So in this environment, we don't see insurance as the most important in our list of to-dos or to buy. And we see it as something that is being forced upon us. But when you realize that you love yourself enough to want to protect your life, the life of those that depend on you, you know that insurance is important, and is the most important in your to-dos in terms of financial planning.
Okay. Very well said. Thank you so much, ma'am, for that. And I totally agree with the things that you have said. The next question is actually about size, but I think you've addressed this, because this person is asking, how big can your business be to get insured? And I think you've established the fact that size actually does not matter, right? You can insure any. Exactly. Thank you so much for that. And so I'm very particular about this question because it came to mind even before this person asked. So this person is into the services category, right? They deliver service, especially she said, I run an online tutoring service, right? It's not goods that are visible goods, but they deliver services. Are they expected to insure, and how are they expected to do so?
Okay, so you run an online businesses. Definitely you have tools that you're using to run the online businesses. And those tools, in the event of any disruption or damage to those tools, you are not able to, continue your online business. Let's say, for instance, you have a workstation, computer system, you have your own life also. So there's a need for you to have insurance. So, and based on what you have mentioned, I'm sure the individual is the owner of the learning institute. So you also need to have some members that you're running the business with, people like employees that are helping you in your business. So you also need to have life insurance on the life of this employee, so that you are able to retain employees in your organization. So as an individual yourself, you also need insurance in place on your own life, to ensure that if anything happens, there's something to fall back on for those that take over from you. And for us, we always think that I'm running a very small scale business, I don't need to expand, or I don't need to ensure that I'm able to sustain this business. No. Dangote of this world started very small, but because they have structure in place, they have protection in place, they're able to scale to where they are today. So if you are planning your business, plan for the future, not just for the present position that you are. And the insurance is the only way to ensure that that sustainability is achieved.
Great, great, great. So if you're planning to build a legacy, something that will outlive you. And if you want to do that, insurance is part of those things you need to consider. Thank you so much. I see that a lot of people are still asking questions regarding how to go about it. So we're going to be putting some a feedback form in the comment section. You can fill that form and indicate the products or what the products you are interested in, and afterwards the group is going to contact you so that you can get started with whatever processes you need to do. So please, for those that are interested in taking up insurance products or women banking products or SME banking products, please look out for the feedback forms that will be dropped in the comment section. So it's easy for you to just indicate what you want, and then the respective groups are going to get in touch with you. And I see people asking about cost as well. So I'm going to leave that to when they get in touch with you, they're able to give you all the details that you require. So I think this is going to be my last question.
I would like to say something.
Okay,
we always believe that insurance is expensive, but not putting protection in place is much more expensive than having an insurance in place. Just as Amina has said, when our shop was burgled, the property, the goods worth millions of naira. If she had not, put insurance in place, it will have been very difficult for her to, have a pathway to recovery. So what you're spending for insurance is not costly, but decision to, avoid that, protection structure in place will be more costly in the event of any disruption or risk occurring. Thank you.
Great. Very well said. Thank you so much. That's reiterating the fact that whether you think insurance is expensive or not insuring at all is way more expensive. So you may want to decide what choice to take. Thank you so much, ma'am. And this person is asking, is there anything like livestock insurance for farmers?
Okay, so there's what we call agri insurance, right? And we would like to, speak with the candidate, the individual that is asking for that information, so that we can also put something, together and get back to him or her on how to go about it. And we also know that for most farmers, right, they also approach Access Bank, for instance, to secure loan, to grow their farm and all that. So for all the loans that you're also, taking up, there is insurance, cover, in place, so that in the event of anything happening to you, your loan is, is repaid back by the insurance company, and there won't be any need, reverting to your loved ones to, repay those loans. So insurance, whatever business that you're running, insurance is available to protect you, to ensure that you're able to continue in that business.
Thank you so much for that last statement, because I was going to ask you about a school, but you have made it clear that whatever business is in talks, it can be insured, right?
Yes, definitely.
Great, thank you so much. So I'm coming back to you, Nika, because I think you have a question here. This person says, thank you, Nika, for the session. I have been emotionally broken for about a month now. Can't focus on anything. We were actually planning for our intro this month, but out of the blues, I got ghosted for reasons I don't know. Listening to you, I have recognized patterns and I really need to move on. How do I do this? There's another question that says, when you see bad patterns in your relationship, what do you do? So I'd like you to answer the two questions together. Thank you.
All right. I'm glad the question came. I'd actually sent you a question, this very point that it's important that we talk about this. So the first thing I would say is you need to acknowledge what has happened. A lot of times we stay in self-denial. We try to assume that, oh, maybe this person will come back, or this person will come and beg me. We just try to come up with all sort of things. But the first thing you must do is to acknowledge that this thing has happened. Call it what it is. Don't minimize it. Don't do that. The second thing you want to do is to grieve properly. Don't pretend. Don't focus on coping mechanism. You need to grieve. If you have to cry, cry. If you have to write a letter to yourself, write it. If you have to sit down and journal and just, take some time for yourself, it's okay. But just make sure you don't skip the grieving process. And grieving is not just crying, it's also allowing yourself to come back to truth. Because that leads to the third point, which is you need to practice emotional honesty to say, so what really happened in this whole relationship? What patterns did I miss? What is it about myself that keeps allowing certain things, that keeps enduring certain things, that keep tolerating certain things? What did I do to contribute to this whole breakup or to this relationship? What is it about myself that is here to grow? Really ask yourself the truth about it and don't be afraid to be sincere with yourself. It's you and yourself, right? So you can journal those things. The moment you're able to do that, then you want to be able to rebuild your identity, because the meanings that you attach to something is very important. The fact that this relationship has gotten to this point, it can make you feel like a failure, like, oh, maybe you're not good enough, especially when this person goes on to be with maybe a friend or someone and you start thinking, oh, maybe I was not good, maybe something was wrong with me. No, you see, people have their choices. People do what they are doing for whatever it is. And sometimes because you have even enabled yourself to allow certain things, people take it for granted and then go on to someone else who has protected themselves and set more boundaries. You see, so this conversation about boundaries and preparation is very important. So when you tell yourself this truth, begin to build yourself back. Remember who you are. Without these people, without anybody validating you, who are you? You need to sit down and tighten that aspect of your life. Outside of relationship, who are you? When you do that, then you want to be able to now sit back to say, if I'm going to go back into relationships, how do I re-enter very wisely? You need to start thinking about what books do I need to read? What did I not know before that I need to know now? What therapy do I need to go for? What community do I need to be a part of? Maybe you're in this community and you're not maximizing it. You want to be able to be more intentional about how you're showing up for the programs that are going on. You want to make sure that you're teaching yourself, in what way am I afraid of setting boundaries? Why am I afraid to say no? Why am I afraid to, be more firm about my needs? And how am I communicating what I want? How am I also settling less? You need to become clear about what you want. You need to say to yourself, for the kind of journey that I'm going, who would I need for this journey? And be sincere about it. Then become that person. You can't try to be attracting someone that you are not. And sometimes when you are doing that, that's when there's self-sabotage, because after a while you're like, oh my God, I don't deserve this. Oh, this person is too much for me. Why? Because even you are not that person that you're trying to be. So try and work on being a better person. Set the boundaries. Stop moving around with fear. Change your network or elevate your community. By the time you do all of these things, give yourself some time, right? The more you confront the truth and tell yourself it, then you will heal. You see, it's not time that heals, it's truth that helps you to heal. So time in itself, without emotional processing, without reflections, it's wasted time. So for you to have fruitful time, process, journal, take your time to don't jump into a quick relationship. Hold on and understand what it feels like to be you before you move into another relationship. By the time you do all of this, trust me, you'll do better. Now, if you have noticed patterns that are not supposed to be in a relationship, it's time for you to address it. So call for communication to say, I've noticed XYZ in this relationship and I want us to address this. By the time you do that and the person is coming up with all sort of excuses or they're just blaming you, then you need to sit down and rethink, is this person really who I should be with, or have I just been tolerating because I'm afraid of being alone? So that in itself calls for reflection for yourself. But don't excuse anybody. Don't try to defend someone because you're afraid of being by yourself. If you're afraid of being by yourself, it's actually a call for you to rise up and do the work that you need to do for yourself. Thank you so much for
Very,
hosting
very
me.
wonderfully
I'm really
said.
grateful.
Thank you so much for your time. I think these are very, very valid points that you have raised, and I'm sure that everybody on the call today have gained one or two things. Don't forget that you can indicate your interest in the feedback form that is being circulated now. So please just click on the link and make sure to indicate whatever you would like to, get onboarded on. Don't also forget to follow us across our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and X at the W Community, and also click the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much, everyone, for making it here today. A very special thank you to all our speakers, Nike Folabade, Aminat Abesi, and Muibat Chimo. It's been a wonderful time with you today. And in all that has been said, I think we can all agree that loving is not just emotions, but it is intentional responsibility to the things that matter to you, to the things that you profess that you love. It is responsibility, it is preparation, it is protection. So you need to protect everything that matters to you. This is not just about your business, it's about you, your person, like Nike has rightly said, your business, the people that matter to you, everything that makes you you, whether you're talking relationships, you're talking business, or the dreams that you're even building. Love requires intentionality. Thank you so much to our wonderful, wonderful speakers. It's been a great time with you. And thank you to our participants as well for staying with us until this time. And so to everyone who is building a business, who is building a career, who is building a family, who is building capacity, I hope that what you're building is enough to be protected. I hope that you grow through every lesson, and I hope that you never allow loss to shrink you, but that it helps you to open your mind, open your eyes to the things and the structures that you need to put in place. And I hope that you will always combine faith with wisdom, like we have already been saying since we started the session. Thank you once again for being here. And on behalf of the W Initiative and SME Banking Group at Access Bank, as well as Coronation Insurance, who is our partner on this, we'd like to say thank you for spending your time with us today. And do not forget to fill the feedback forms before you go, just so that we're able to capture all your interests, whether in W propositions or SME propositions or Coronation Insurance propositions for you. Don't forget to follow us across our social media platforms so that you can get first-hand information on everything that we offer to you. Thank you once again, Nike. Thank you so much, Aminat, and thank you so much, Muibat, for a wonderful time today. Till we see everybody again, my name is Ifeoluwa Omoto, and it's been a pleasure hosting you on this session today. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.
I see a light inside of you, so let it shine. It's time to spread your wings and fly. Reach for the sky. Get up, don't